Hello mates, Huganji. Welcome back to Nubu2 Gaming. What I have for you today is an unboxing video of a Samsung 27-inch monitor. The SE390 LED monitor to be exact. This is kind of an entry-level monitor that is generally like kind of in the affordable range and is probably one of the better monitors you can get for the price range that it's in. Okay, so let's get into cutting the tape, getting ourselves sorted over here. One of the tips I can give you when you're opening things like this is to always open it from the bottom or from the back, if you can figure out what that is, because they normally put that stuff, your power cords and everything at the back. Okay, so that's that. Okay, what we've got over here is styrofoam. Jeez, one day they're gonna really get rid of all this expanded styrofoam stuff, which is something that they really need to do. Okay, first of all, what we've got over here is we've got the base, yeah, or the bottom part of the base, I guess. We've got another piece over here, which I suppose screws into this part over here, and this is obviously something that goes into the screen. Alrighty, this over here, just some paperwork. I can see the monitor underneath all this polystyrene. We've got some paperwork, we've got a driver CD in there, and it comes with, where's this pair of scissors? Let's scissor the shit out of this. Alrighty, it comes with VGA cable, so that obviously means that it's got VGA inputs on it. It comes with a power cable of some sort, so that's obviously a changeover from that power cable. This is probably a power cable that can be used in Germany, in South Africa. I know it has these kinds of things, and I suppose a few other different countries, so they're probably just providing power to whatever countries they're supplying this box to, just to make sure. Again, these are just this is just the warranty information and the driver CD and the setup manual, those sorts of things. I can stay over there. Over here, what we have is, it looks like the power adapter. So this is obviously something that goes into the back of the monitor. It'd be nice if the power brick wasn't outside the monitor, but I suppose in order to retain the width of said monitor, you probably want to like exclude the power. But it feels small and light enough that it could probably go in. There we go, there's your Irish cable or your UK cable, yeah, with the funny square plugs. What we'll do is we'll take all of this out, put it on the floor in the meantime. Perhaps what we should do is we should assemble this base, you know, before we take the panel out. So this is the bottom part of the base, this is the upper part of the base. Alright, let's unscrew these screws. Instead of spending so much time trying to screw things in, I've decided to get a tool to help me with this thing, so yeah, overpowered much? Just kidding. And get the smaller cousin of that guy, which is this one over here. Right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to stick that into the base. So it looks like there's some holes at the bottom here. So the screws obviously go through those holes. And these holes over here that the screws go into must line up with those holes. So we'll pop that in there. Feels a little bit loose. Let's see what happens when we tighten it up. Grab our tool over here. So there we go. I kind of bought this on a whim because I was looking for something to replace the monitor I borrowed from my office, which was a 24-inch, I think, 24-inch LG monitor, and I was looking to upgrade as well as to change over. Okay, there we go. So that's the base all set up. And that's why I went with this 27-inch, so going from 24 to 27 inches, and also maintaining the HD. Yeah. Alright, so now that we've got the base assembled, we can take the panel out the box. So that was your top piece of polystyrene. We don't need that anymore. And here the panel is inside the box, you can see it. Yeah. Let's whip that sucker out. We'll get rid of this box, we don't need that anymore. There we go, so this is the panel. Fairly nice looking piece of equipment, even though it's still wrapped up in some weird wrappy plastic. Come on. Why do I always get stuck with this type of stuff? There we go. Alrighty. There we go, Mance. What do you think? Eh? So that's the panel over there. You can see it's got some nice Samsung detailing at the bottom there. Let's try and attach it to the base. So there's actually like a clip here at the back. It's like a clip system over here that this obviously slots into. I gotta say, it doesn't feel as sturdy as I'd like it to be, but I suppose you're not going to be bumping on your monitor all the time. So there we go. So that's a fairly large panel, as you can see. Like 27 inches is quite a large size, and I think if you were going to be using this as a close gaming monitor, this is probably the limit. Like, I'd say you probably almost be wanting to go back to 24 inches if you're sitting closer than, I'd say, a desk width or a desk depth, should I say. Okay, so one of the first things I wanted to bring up here was the color reproduction on this monitor. So, understandably, considering that it's a cheap monitor or a cheaper monitor, the color reproduction isn't going to be amazing, and it's probably not ideal for graphic work. So you probably don't want to be setting up all your Photoshop photography files on this, and you don't want to be doing a lot of kind of print color work on this at all, because I don't think the calibration on this monitor is kind of up there. So this, I would say, is probably more for entertainment consumption and for gaming. And the gaming part of it is exactly what I bought this for, right? It has a certain function on it called HDMI black, which increases the amount of blacks that you can have on the monitor. What you can have, but it increases the quality of the blacks that are displayed on the monitor. Which is nice to have. It makes a lot of images contrast really nicely and really brightens everything up, because it's the contrast that really makes an image pop normally. All right. The other thing is that this particular monitor has a 4 millisecond response time, which, when compared to a gaming monitor normally between 1 and 2 milliseconds, isn't amazing. But when you're playing on a PlayStation or something like that, you still have a competitive edge compared to those people who might be playing on TV screens or anything like that, which has an input latency of anywhere between like 20 milliseconds all the way up to about 60 or 70 milliseconds, which is quite a long time, especially when you're playing competitively, like online multiplayer. This particular panel as well, including the 4 millisecond response time, has a game mode, which reduces all the functionality that it normally brings in, which is like this like color balancing technology and all of these like other processing technologies that they put onto the panel in order to make the picture look nice when you've got it plugged into a computer. However, when you've got it plugged into a PlayStation or you've got it plugged into an Xbox, you kind of just want the base image as clear as possible, and you want it as quick as possible coming from the box, yeah? And so you've got a game mode set up on it, which is really cool. So you can just set it up in game mode and go ahead and start hammering out your kills in multiplayer, whether it's in Destiny or in Doom or anything like that, right? This particular panel has a strange set of panel controls. Normally what would happen is you'd have touch controls on the front of the panel, but I suppose in order to not have the panel, the front panel aesthetic messed up too much, they've actually located the controls on the back of this, and I think that they kind of got inspiration for this from the Macintosh, which has its power button on the back as well, or the iMac, should I say. So if we spin this around, you can see over here that this is the control panel. It's actually like a little toggle switch or a joystick toggle, so you can push it up and down, and you can actually press it in as well. So you can go up and down, left and right, and you can click in and I imagine that once it's on and you get used to the orientation of it, that it would be quite user friendly. Yeah. Moving on from that, let's talk about these inputs. So again, when it comes to basic monitors and it comes to cheaper monitors, you can see that they're really kind of cut down on features that they might put a lot of on the more expensive monitors. I think they've kind of put a lot more energy into the quality of the panel, rather than having a trillion different inputs like that you'd expect to see on perhaps a high-end Dell workstation panel or something like that. So over here what we have is we've got the power, yeah, and we've got an audio output. So if you've got audio traveling along HDMI, you can plug in your speakers there, or you can plug in your audio output if that's going to a hi-fi or an amplifier with a set of headphones or something like that. You can plug that in there. You've got a VGA over here. As I said, there's a VGA cable in the box, so that particular unit comes with a VGA cable. It's got an HDMI input as well, and as I said earlier about the HDMI black, you can have an increased contrast in the HDMI black, which makes the blacks blacker. The panel unfortunately doesn't come with an HDMI cable, so if you're looking to game or anything like that, you'd probably want to purchase a high quality HDMI cable to go along with your new panel. Alright, now let's talk about the price of this unit. So this is a 27-inch monitor. It's full HD, so it's 1920 by 1080, not 4K. We can expect any 4K panel to be anywhere between 500 to almost 2,000 euros. This particular panel, in its current configuration, cost 230 or 240 euros. I'm not too sure. You can go online and have a look and see what the price of that, what the exact price of that is. I got it from a company called Argos, who operate here in Ireland and I think in the UK as well. You literally just walk in, you go through a catalog, and you write the number on a slip, and you give it to them, and they bring it to the front for you. It's kind of like a warehouse arrangement with a till at the front of it. Yeah. So yeah, 230 euros, and I think for the quality of the panel that you get and what it's going to be used for, the full HD is perfect, because the PlayStation is not going to be able to operate at 4K anyway, and neither will the Xbox One at the moment. So having full HD is perfect. Having it at 27 inches is, I suppose, a new norm for panels in the home. I suppose commercial style panels, and for people who want to kind of game and operate on an LCD panel that isn't a TV. So my final verdict is, it looks really nice. I imagine that it's going to operate really well. I've seen a couple of reviews online, and it all looks very positive. For me, like I said, it's essentially a gaming monitor, so it's going to stay in gaming mode. The only thing I'm worried about is making sure that the contrast in the image is nice, and that I have that really fast response time, or as little as possible input lag from the PlayStation to the panel as possible. Anyway, so that's the Samsung 27-inch SE390 LED monitor. If you guys are keen to go and check it out, go onto the Argos website, and you'll be able to find them on there. And I suppose you can go onto the Samsung website as well, and just try and find out some more detail on these. I know that the 27-inch monitor does come in a second iteration. I'm not too clear on what it is at the moment. But you'll probably find that if you're going to do some more research on it. As far as you know, not even a temporary, but as far as a TV swap out gaming monitor is concerned, this is perfect for me. 27 inches, you know, on a desk for media consumption and for your gaming. I don't think you could get any better. It's like a really good balance between size and distance and quality of image. So yeah, if you can afford a better monitor, I'd say you probably want to go for something with an IPS panel, and you want to probably go for something with a few more outputs or inputs, so that you could probably include a whole lot more into the unit. You probably want to get something with mini display or DisplayPort out, and perhaps something with G-Sync or something like that, particularly if you're doing a bit of PC gaming. But that's all from me for now. If you liked the review, please make sure that you hit the thumbs up button Or if you like the unboxing, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button just below the video, and it only takes a few seconds if you're logged in. And yeah, subscribe, comment, and share this video, and I'll catch up with you man next time. Thanks. Bye.